What is NAT gateway? Why we use it? What is important of NAT gateway in the AWS architecture? We see this and much more, and that by doing. So please stay tuned. We are going to see usage of NAT gateway, and as usual we'll be seeing by doing it, right? So NAT gateway is something which is needed for you to connect to internet from your private subnet. We already have seen what is private and public subnet, and I'll give you the link of that video in the description, so you can just like a recap what we have learned, so you are ready for learning more about NAT gateway. So this is the architecture what you are seeing, and this is directly from the document. I can put this as well in the description, so it's easy reference for you. So this is like private subnet, public subnet, and NAT gateway sitting in public subnet. Public subnet is the one which will have a direct access to internet through internet gateway. So like this is access for public subnet directly to internet through internet gateway, right? But private subnet doesn't have that, so we don't have a route going from your private subnet to internet through internet gateway, and that's when NAT gateway comes into picture. So we are placing NAT gateway in public subnet, and whatever traffic flowing from your private subnet or instance in the private subnet is going through NAT gateway to internet, and this is what we are going to see. And make sure that NAT gateway is helping us to reach out to internet from our private subnet instance, right? And what we are going to build is like just for explaining purpose, I'll just build this portion alone, and we don't need this, right? We just need to make sure that you understand NAT gateway. So I'll just build private subnet, I'll just build public subnet in one single AZ, and NAT gateway, one instance here, one instance in public subnet, and then we'll SSH from your instance in public subnet to private, and so that we can get into private subnet and just private subnet instance and just see whether you connect to the internet. So that's simple, right? So let's hop onto our AWS management console, right? I'm here, I'm going to VPC. First I'll create components of the VPC, and I'll just show you the easy way of doing it, right? Like whatever we just explained, you can just do VPC only, and this is how we have done in our last tutorial. You can just take a look at that, but here just make our life easy. There is an option where you can do VPC and more, and what does that create is, you can see it here, right? Like number of availability zones, I'll just choose one. As I said, like I'll just create it for explaining you the things. I don't need two AZs, right? So number of public subnet 1, number of private subnet 1, and you can just tweak it here, right? You just do 2 and it will create one more, right? So it's very easy to create. And then NAT gateway, we need one, but I won't create it. I'll just create it later so that you understand how to create NAT gateway, because up till this we have seen in our earlier tutorial. Okay, so just quickly go through it. Project VPC will create, then we'll create one subnet which will call it as a public, then other one is private, then route table is going and attached to this public subnet we are calling it RTB public, and then this is private route table, and another thing is internet gateway, right? So all this will be launched in North Virginia region. Okay, so let me just go ahead with, and you can just change your VPC CIDR block, right? Here I'm just taking like default one, but you have option, you can even do that, right? I just want to show you that what are the capabilities you have here, so that like you, if you want, you can change things, right? So this is really easy and nice way of creating this basic infrastructure. Okay, so now it will just take few moments and then you will have it ready. It's like yeah, so you can see it created VPC, it enabled DNS host name and DNS resolution. There was a tick mark where you want to do this or not, but I just did it by default. Then it's verified VPC is created, then created subnet, then another subnet, public private, then internet gateway, then it attached internet gateway to VPC, then created route table, right? So two route tables is created, associated route table to particular subnets, private and public. Then yeah, so this is public and this is private, and verifying route table creation, right? So this all it has done, and I said this manually we have done it in our earlier video, and I will put the link as I said in the description. So please make sure that you watch it, so that like when you do like this, you know like what to do manually, right? So learn more with that approach, right? So VPC is created. Let's see our infrastructure. There's subnet private, subnet public, it's good. Then route table, you can see private route table, public route table. Then it should have an internet gateway. Yeah, internet gateway. And if you go into internet gateway, I just want to show you this, right? This internet gateway is created. Then all that's what we have, right? Yeah, NAT gateway we haven't created. So we have our subnet ready. So what I'll do is I'll just create one or two EC2 instance, right? EC2 so EC2 instance. Okay, so one will create it in public subnet, one will create it in private subnet. So just let me just create one in public first. EC2 public. Let me put project, right? Because that's how that VPC was created. So okay, project. Then this you can just keep it as is. Like this is just taking T2 micro, which is free tier eligible, and we multiple times have done in the past. Like so I won't explain it. You can see it other earlier videos as well. So my new keep here. Right here is the most important thing. So you are putting it in our project VPC, and this is a public subnet. So I'm just putting it in public subnet, right? And yes, US East 1A, both are in same, right? Yeah, because we choose 1AZ, right? So public subnet, I want to give it public IP, create security group. So I just want to create one. So public security group, and let's put project in front so we know that what purpose we created it, right? So let's copy paste this in the description, and that's it. I just want to keep SSH as it is, and that's it, right? Really I don't want to change anything. So just launch instance, right? So the most important thing was choosing the right networking information, like instance, VPC, and then subnet, all those things. So this is done, so it is getting ready for us. So we'll create one more, which will be in private subnet, project EC2 private, right? So everything else will remain same, only difference I'll just show you, right? So this is again one key pair, you can take it, edit, go to VPC, then it's in private, right? So we are good. I don't want a public IP there, and here I'll create one more security group, project private security group, and then copy paste same in the description. Yeah, so I'll just keep SSH to the whole world, doesn't matter, this is just for our testing purpose, right? So just launch this instance. So if you see, now we should have two instances, one must be running and second one is still getting prepped up for us. What happened? Where that public is there, but private I don't see, even it's not popping up. Yeah, I have seen this in the past as well, like sometimes it behaves weirdly. So let me just launch it one more time, right? Like I don't know what happened, or I didn't let it finish, I don't know, but it should not happen like this, right? Let me just, no, okay, anyway it doesn't matter, I'll just launch one, right? So project, just bear with me, I just want to do it one more time, it didn't take it, right? So T2, I'll just quickly run through this. Networking, as I said, this is important, just put it in right VPC, put it in private, yeah, it's there. So security group project, private security group, copy the same in description, and that's it. Okay, so I can see that the private EC2 instance or EC2 instance in private subnet is getting prepped up for us. Meantime, let's go to VPC and create NAT gateway, right? We anyway need that, right? So NAT gateway, I'm just creating one, just it is in VPC itself, NAT gateway, then create NAT gateway, project NAT, right? And subnet will keep it in public subnet, and we have seen the architecture for it, right? And as I said, I'll put the link to that article or that documentation. Connectivity public, then I don't have any elastic IP, so I just allocate one and create NAT gateway, right? So creating NAT gateway is that simple. So we have a NAT gateway available. So what we should do now is we should just go to our EC2, right? And then what I need to do is first I'll go to this EC2 instance, which is public EC2, right? SSH into it, connect to it, or when we use instance connect, right, it's easy to connect. But what I need to do is, in addition, is from this EC2 I want to hop onto this, like SSH into this particular EC2 private, and from there we'll show how NAT is working for us, right? Okay, so I'll pause the video for a moment and I'll just put my private key into this EC2 instance, and then from there I can connect using the private key. I can SSH into it. I'll tell you that once it's there, but for now I'll just pause it just for security purpose. I've already put private key into this particular instance, public instance, so that I can connect from here public instance to private instance using SSH. Okay, so I'll just show you the key as well there, right? Not the content of it, but key definitely. So connect, then I'm connecting to public instance. You might have noticed, right? This is public instance. So just this is the instance connect. Okay, so I'm into public instance, and you can see the key which I just told you. And you can just one more thing, you can just see that what permissions I have given, right? 400. If that is not right permission, it will not allow. It's too open, it will not allow you to connect. So I just given 400. So SSH -i, then my key .pem EC2 user, and you might have guessed. Now what we do here is, where we want to connect, we want to connect to the private instance. So that is in private subnet that doesn't have public IP, so we are connecting through private instance. Okay, so yeah, we connected. You can see the private IP as well, right? Same thing. Okay, so this is how we are connecting to your SSH into your private instance. So from here, if I just say ping, say amazon.com, do you expect it to work? No, because private subnet does not have route going to internet through internet gateway. Neither we have a route going to internet through NAT gateway, right? Private subnet, when we are calling it a private, if you have seen last video, if you are calling it a private, it doesn't have route going to public internet, right? Going through internet gateway, right? So that's why NAT comes into picture. So let me just do that, right? We'll just add, just go to route table for the private route table. And here if you see subnet association, it is associated with private instance. That is what it was done when we created VPC and all other things for it, right? Like subnet, internet gateway and all that. So this route table is having association, so we know we are looking at the right thing. And there it's just default local route, so it doesn't have anything giving it access for internet. So let me just put it, and this time I want to go to through the NAT gateway. Okay, so that's it. So once it is in, and it's instantly, you should see this. See, so you can see that we got the internet access. When it was not there, NAT gateway was not there, we didn't have internet access. So that is how it is. So this is proving that we have internet access. So that's how it is. Like now I hope like you understood that this connectivity for this instance is coming through NAT gateway. So that's how the NAT gateway is of use, and that is the working of NAT gateway, right? So let's just clean up this now. So I hope like you understood what is NAT gateway, and I'll just share this link. I want you to just go through this, learn more, so this like it's easy for you to understand, and if you want to implement, just implement it. It's very easy, like what you have seen in the tutorial today, right? And put your comments, like once you try yourself, just let me know. I'll be happy to know that you successfully tried this tutorial, right? Okay, so for now let me just delete this. I'm just cleaning up things. Make sure you clean it up. And one more important thing when you are cleaning up, right, that EIP, elastic IP. So I'll just show you like when I do it, but make sure you take care of that, because otherwise if elastic IP is not attached, if you see this is the elastic IP. Let me go here, right? Oh, it's not taking me like this. Okay, so let me just delete it first. NAT gateway. Confirm you want to delete it. It just takes some seconds, so that we need to wait for the, otherwise like if you are not deleting it, you won't able to release elastic IP. So just while it's doing it, I just want to explain elastic IP. You might have seen it in earlier when I explained it, but elastic IP is something like which is a static IP. So you attach it to internet or use it for a NAT gateway. So that like usually in context of EC2, right, if you don't want your public IP to change across shutdown and startup of the instance, that's when you create elastic IP. But the peculiar thing with elastic IP is if you are attaching the elastic IP to resource, then you are not charged for elastic IP. But the moment you detach it from the resource, right, in this case when I'm deleting the NAT gateway, then elastic IP will be just orphan, like it's just there, right? It's not attached to anything. So that time you are being charged. So that is how elastic IP works. So it's very important that to understand this and remove elastic IP. Now it's deleted, so it should allow us to remove elastic IP or release elastic IP. So release elastic IP, right? Great. So now we are not charged for elastic IP. So that's it. Like that is how we created manually, right? So everything else, right? Let me just delete VPC itself, and it will take care of deleting most of the things, right? So you can see that like security group will be deleted, then internet gateway, then route table, then subnets, everything will be deleted. So you do not need to manually do it. So that is the beauty of using that option, like what I showed in the beginning to create this infrastructure. Okay, great. So that's it, like the one which we created is deleted. So that's it guys, like I hope you learned something new and liked what you saw. Please try it yourself, let me know how it goes, and thanks for watching. Hope you learned something new today. If so, please like this video, share, leave your comment so that I know this content is helping you. Don't forget to subscribe, and that's now. Okay, see you again with yet another exciting tutorial about AWS. Keep learning, keep sharing what you learn, and thanks for watching.